Yeah, it's switched on. It's already switched
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Yeah. So today we are going to discuss about the credit cards, and not so only credit cards. We'll also talk a little about debit cards and how you can utilize the best of it. Right. So most of us, I am sure, must be holding some kind of a credit card or a debit card, and because we all are having bank accounts, and so banks will usually give us a debit card when the moment we open a salary account or even a normal account if you open. Banks offer you a debit card. Apart from that, we also get credit cards from various other banks. So what is the difference between a credit card and a debit card? Anyone would like to answer that?
So credit, you can take.
Debit.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You can go ahead.
Okay. So debit card means if the money is there in our account, then we can withdraw it and use. Means debit card is that money is ours and we are using. And credit card means that is not our money. We are taking on credit from someone. For that we have to pay some interest.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. So the credit basically means is that it is not my money; it's someone else's money which I can use for a certain period of time without paying any interest. Obviously, if I don't repay it back, I will be have to pay certain interest on it. But debit card normally is something, the only money that I have in the bank account which I can spend, and it would be and its limit would be decided by the amount of money I have in my bank. But on a credit card, the limit is decided by the issuing bank, and you can have a minimum limit of say 5,000 to say 15 lakhs. So it all depends based on the what kind of a documentation you have, and the kind of a limit the bank sets on the credit card. So the limits on the credit card are decided by the banks, and so it helps. So the credit card helps us in case of an emergency. If I require some money, or if I have to buy something urgently and I may be running short on funds, so credit card is a kind of a pre-approved loan for which I don't have to give an application, and automatically that money is pre-approved in the card. I can just go ahead and swipe the card and use that money. So that is one good use case of a credit card, right? However, that is not the only case. The other important aspect of the credit card is that it helps us to build a credit score. So is any one of you aware of what a CIBIL score or a credit score is?
Yes, hi Sunil, Melvin here.
Yeah, Melvin.
Yes. Being a banker, yes, I do know what is a CIBIL score. It depends on the ratings of your entire financial transactions, the amount of loans you have, the amount of savings you have, the amount of mutual funds you have, the type of EMI that you pay. And if you miss out on any EMI, then your credit score is going down, and then you miss out on any payment, minimum payments or payments of dues on your credit cards, then your ratings goes down. So these are the CIBIL rating scores that is generated by looking up to your entire banking and transactional history, and then a score is given, and according to that you get your credit cards, and the limit is set according to that, or a loan is set according to that, in order how much you can pay to the bank once again back again. So that is what a CIBIL rating is all about.
Yeah, Melvin. So that your answer is partially correct and partially wrong. I'll tell you the wrong part of it first, and then I'll tell you the correct part of it. So CIBIL score basically defines a score of how are you dealing with the money that is on credit, right? So if you have got a lot of money in the bank and you have put it in your savings account, that will not impact your CIBIL score. Or if you give a check and if that check bounces, suppose you are making a payment to someone and the check bounces, that also will not impact your CIBIL score. So CIBIL score is an indication of how well you are able to manage your finances or the money that you have taken on a loan. So for example, if you have taken a car loan or a two-wheeler loan, and if you're paying it by check, and if that check bounces, so your credit score will not be impacted because of check bounce, but your credit scores would be impacted because you're not making a timely payment. So credit score is as an indication of how well you are managing your borrowed money. So it is not linked to what kind of mutual fund portfolio you have, or the amount of savings you have in the bank. It is totally linked to how do you handle the money that is offered to you. So many people say that credit cards are not a good thing, and depending from a use case to use case. And so many of us do not want to take a credit card, right? But I normally strongly suggest that everyone should have at least 1 or 2 credit cards, and we should be actively using them. Now, the reason for that is that whenever you approach a bank for any kind of a loan, for example, you want to take a home loan, or maybe a two-wheeler loan or a four-wheeler loan, the bank does not know how do you handle a money once it is given as a loan to you, because you become a risky customer for the bank, right? Because if you have never taken a loan, so you have never repaid a loan. And if you have never repaid a loan, bank does not know that, even you might have a good bank balance, but bank would not know that how you handle your money when you take a loan. So a credit card, normally when you take a credit card initially, a bank will normally give you a very low limit. And then when you start doing transactions on it, and if you start making timely payments on it, so the banks are able to then send this information back to the company which collects the CIBIL score, like in India it is CIBIL, and then they create a profile for you, which helps the bank to understand how you behave with the loan money. So even if you don't have a credit card, or if you have no requirement of a credit card, normally it is suggested that you take one credit card, use it, and make the payments on it timely. So because in future, if you require any kind of a loan, bank will have some kind of an history where they would be able to decide how you are handling the payment. So it becomes easier for you to take a loan. Specifically, I see there's a lot of struggle to get a home loan, because specifically for someone who has never had a loan history, because a home loan, normally banks are not too sure how would you be dealing with the money that the bank lends it out to you, and whether you repay it back on time or not. So that is why if you take a credit card, then the loan is of a small amount. Say your credit card limit may be 20,000. You spend like 4,000, 5,000 in a month, and repay it back at the end of the month, and hence you start building up your credit history or your CIBIL score. So so if you keep paying your loan back on time, or your credit card on payment on time, so what basically is happening is you are basically telling the bank that I am a trustworthy customer. And so banks will normally be more would be able to give you a loan on a easier terms, and maybe in certain cases they may be able to offer you a lower rate of interest. Now take an example: if you do not have a credit history, and even if you have a very good bank balance, the banks will still be hesitant because they do not know your pattern. So that is one good reason that one should have a credit card. Okay, any questions on that, or anyone would like to discuss why you should not have a credit card?
But Sunil, don't you think if somebody can't handle the money, it's better to not to have a credit card for betterment of him, somebody who doesn't have the discipline? Yeah, one thing is discipline we can create. Another thing is if somebody has a general habit of not having that discipline, it's better not to have it, right? Say on the safer side.
Yeah. So the reason not to have it is that if you do not know how to repay your payments on time, or if you feel you're not able to handle it well, maybe you should always ask the bank to offer you a lower credit limit. So maybe if your credit limit is 20,000, maybe you can call up the bank and say, hey, I don't want this much of a limit. I just want a lower limit, maybe say 5,000 or 10,000. So that way, when you are on a lower limit, you are still would be able to pay it off and still be able to build a credit history. But if you feel you are not able to do that, then it is the best not to take a credit card. The downside of that would be is that when you are trying to get for a loan for a house, specifically in India, we always take a loan for a house, then it is hard for a bank to provide you a loan at that time. So the only reason that you should not have a credit card is that where you feel that you would you would spend too much, and then you would, not be able to repay it. So in that, if you fall in that category, then you should avoid the credit card. Otherwise, overall credit cards will definitely help you in the long term. Okay, so that is the first thing that I wanted to talk about is that why we should have a credit card. Now, there are various kinds of credit cards available. We have a entry-level credit cards, then we have a mid-segment, and we will have some premium credit cards. So the entry credit level credit cards are normally credit cards which normally will not have any joining fees. That means you do not pay any charges to them. You use them and then you just keep repaying them back every month, right? So one such entry level credit card is an Amazon Pay credit card, right? So I just share screen. Okay. So Amazon Pay credit card is a very basic credit card. It does not have any it does not have any entry fees. That means you do not. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, can you make it a what do you call it, full screen? I think your PPT is not on.
Okay, so one such credit card, basic entry level credit card, is an Amazon Pay credit card. So this is issued by ICICI Bank, and there is no annual charges on it, right? Now, as I said, when you buy things online, normally you cannot pay cash usually. And online payments are either done using a debit card or a credit card. Now, if you get an Amazon Pay credit card, the first benefit that you notice is that you earn cash back on it, which means if you're buying a product for say 100 rupees, at the end of the month, ICICI Bank will give you 5 rupees back if you're an Amazon Prime customer. If you're not a Prime customer, you will get 3% cash back. And if you are using Amazon Pay to pay other merchants, then you get 2%. And if you're using your cards at shops or any other places, you will get 1% cash back on the other system. Now, if you look at this amount, assuming you spend about say 1,000 rupees per month, so you are almost earning about 50 rupees every month. That is by just using this payment method. Instead of using your debit card, what you're doing is, if you are a Prime customer, maybe if you use this credit card, which you're not paying anything, right? Because the credit card is free, there's no joining fees or anything. So technically, you are able to save some from between 1% to 5% on the amount that you use on this card. So if in a whole year, if you are say spending about 1 lakh rupees on the credit card for various purchases, and you on an average say you are only getting 2% cash back, if I say all of the spending is not Amazon and some here and there. So that means at the end of the year, you have earned 2,000 rupees just by using this credit card. So technically, you got that discount because instead of pulling up your debit card, you decided to pay it using a different card, and so you are not doing anything specific or anything special. So, but you are getting an added benefit of 2,000 rupees. So, so there are many other cards also, like SBI cards and other things. But why I specifically chose this one is to discuss is that most of us nowadays are doing online shopping, and a lot of our stuff is bought on Amazon, and so it is a good card because you are saving money. I mean, if you are just saving money by having the right type of credit card, right? So Amazon Pay credit card is issued by ICICI Bank. It is a Visa card. So there are many payment companies which back the technology. So this is backed by Visa. And so if you can go ahead and apply for this, and if you, in fact, if you have already got an existing ICICI Bank card, and you can just go on online apply. It is normally issued within 1 or 2 days, and no additional documentation is required. However, if you don't have it, then you can just connect with ICICI Bank or through their the online website, apply for it, and you can get hold of one of these cards, one of the Amazon Pay co-branded card, and can save up to say 5% on every purchase that you make on Amazon. Any queries on this?
Since it's Amazon Pay credit card, it's only Amazon, no? Can we use it for other purposes? No.
No, so you can use it for making other payments. So as I say, earn 2% back on 100% Amazon Pay partner merchants. Any places where they use you can make payment using Amazon Pay, or if you use it at any other website, normally you'll get 1% cashback.
Okay, it's possible. Okay.
Yeah. So whatever the cashback is added as an Amazon Pay balance to your Amazon account.
Okay.
Right. So you can use it anywhere. It's not that it will only work on Amazon, but since it's a primarily co-branded card with Amazon, whatever benefits you get on it would be added to your Amazon account. And once you have that money on the Amazon, you can use it to buy various other things. Okay.
And this is a free card, you said, no?
Yeah, this is a free card. There's no absolutely no charges on it.
Okay.
Yeah, Sunil bhai, I want to add one more point to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Amazon there is another option known as subscribe and pay.
Yeah.
So every month, if you are regularly buying, for example, your daily things like your detergents and all,
yeah,
if you can subscribe again, you will get further 10% discount.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is the Amazon product specific that you're talking about. Yeah, so Amazon does have a thing called subscribe and pay where your normally groceries and everything, if you want to do a repeat order, as Robin said, so it automatically places that order for you. And when you use Amazon Pay credit card to make that payment, then you get 10% off there, and plus 5% Amazon cashback, assuming you are an Amazon Prime member. So in overall, you are getting a 15% discount out there. Right, 5% because you are using the Amazon credit card, and 10% because it's a subscribe and save. So also Amazon runs from time to time. They give you targeted offers. So maybe sometimes they say if you buy spend amount of say 10,000 a month, they may offer you additional discounts as well. So this is the standard discount, but from time to time they will keep having offers, and which would usually be targeted, and sometimes like during Diwali or Dussehra time, they have other offers also coming where you can get at least 15-20% also in some cases to benefit out of this. So if the amount is of 100 rupees, you normally will get 20 rupees back, and this is over and above the discounts normally would be really that would be applicable during that promotional offer. Right? Like we have the Amazon sale day that they have. So at that time also they have that if you're using an Amazon card, they will normally give you some additional benefit apart from the standard listed out there. So it's a good card. It's a free card. And since you are not spending anything, you're not paying any annual charges on it. It is a very good collection that you should have with you. Right? Now, apart from Amazon, there is another player that is called Flipkart. So Flipkart has tied up with Axis Bank, and this is, though it's an entry level card, they have a very minimum fees of 500 plus GST, which approximately works out to about 600. The advantage to this is that these fees that you pay, they issue you a gift voucher. So when you pay your 500 plus tax, obviously taxes are not refunded, but the welcome benefit you will get is of 500 rupees worth Flipkart voucher, which you can then use on Flipkart. So it's kind of whatever the fees you have paid as a joining fees, it is reimbursed to you in a form of Flipkart voucher, right? Again, if you use this credit card on Flipkart, Myntra, and Too Good, Too Good is another online store, you will get 5% cashback. That means over and above listed discount on the Flipkart site, you will earn additional 5% of cashback. So again, you are saving 5% by just using the right kind of card. The earlier one was only for Amazon. This one is specific to Flipkart, right? On Make My Trip, Go, Ibibo, obviously currently the travel sites are not working. But as and when they were functional in the past, and as and when you take services from them, you will normally be saving at it from say 1.5% to 5%. So in Amazon Pay, you were getting 1% cashback elsewhere. In the Flipkart variant card, you get 1.5% unlimited cash elsewhere, which means there's no limit of if you spend 1 lakh, it will give you 1,500. If you spend 10 lakh, it will give you 15,000. So there's no limit that after certain cashback, the amount will stop. Another big advantage of this is the domestic airport lounge access. So currently travel is restricted, but I have been using the lounges very well. So lounges are specific dedicated places at the airport where normally they will charge you about 2 rupees and you get an unlimited buffet out there. You can sit and relax and enjoy before taking off your flight. So once the travel scenario is back, and if you're traveling and if you have this card, you can have a good buffet for 2 rupees at most of the airports. So Bangalore airport has got 2 lounges, and so if you have this is a good card to have with a very low cost on it. Any questions on this card? Okay. So most of us are nowadays living on a rent. So we all pay rent, and whenever we pay rent using our bank accounts, right? And so there are a few companies which have come up that allow you to pay your rents using a credit card. Okay. Now, for example, if I take Red Giraffe, so if you're paying your rent up to 10,000, they charge you a fees of 45 rupees. If your rent is more than that, they will normally charge you 0.39% extra plus GST, right? Now, how do you save money on this? Now, suppose if I'm using an Amazon credit card to pay my rent using a Red Giraffe. So as I saw in Amazon, I earn 1% cashback. And if I use the Flipkart, I am earning 1.5 cashback. So now if my rent is say 20,000 and I use the Flipkart card, so what do I get? I get 1.5% cashback, which means now the rent which I was paying, I am earning 1.5% additional on it. And if I minus this 39%, which even if I round it off to 0.50, what technically I am doing is I'm getting 1% back as my cashback. So now currently when I'm paying for the rent, I don't get any money returned. Whatever I pay from the bank. The bank deducts the charges. The bank transfers the money, and I do not get any money out of it. But when I'm using a service like Red Giraffe, what is technically happening? I'm technically getting a 1% discount on the payment which I am making to my landlord. So, however, there is a requirement on that you should be having a rental agreement. You have to upload it there, and you can always set up the standing instructions on the website, which means your rent will automatically be deducted on that given date. and so you don't have to remember that I have not paid my rent this month or next month or whenever we are paying it. As it looks into your rental agreement, sees when the due date is, automatically charges your credit card, and your rent is automatically paid, right? And there are other companies also which offer you this same service, but I normally do not recommend them unless until you have got a good premium card which is offering you more cashback. Red Giraffe is a good one. We have No Broker, which normally charges from 1 to 2%. Housing.com is using this, and Cred. I'll talk to you about Cred in a little while. So these are certain companies which are letting you pay your rents using the credit card, and in turn you are at least saving a minimum of 1% if you are using this one. If you've got a premium credit card like the HDFC Infinia credit card, you normally get a 3.3% cashback or worth of points which you can use it. So I normally use the Infinia card, and I paid through Red Giraffe, so I almost get about if I minus this tax part, I almost get about 2.9% cashback or worth of points every month just by paying the rent using my credit card. The second advantage to it is I don't have to remember every month that I have to pay the rent on time, because the rent is automatically charged to my card, and the rent always goes on time. So even the landlord is happy that the rent comes there on time. So these are some good options which you may explore and pay the rent. The downside of the
Sunil, this is a new thing. It's recently this has come up the last 2-3 years, or?
Yeah, so this Red Giraffe launched in 2017. The rest of these were launched in late 2019.
Yeah. What is? I have a house now, so I cannot use the Giraffe now. I think it's a brilliant thing, actually.
Yeah. So
register.
Come again?
Landlord has to register with this.
No, you have to have the rent agreement and the PAN card numbers and the bank details. Of course, the landlord has got nothing to do on it. You have to. Red Giraffe's interface is not so good, but they have a good customer support over WhatsApp. So Red Giraffe is a little tedious process, but once you register it, it goes on smooth. Initially, you might their website is not so good and all, but the returns are good. So if you're like paying a rent of 20,000-30,000, getting 1% cashback minimum, I'm saying, using a credit card or a credit card is you are earning money literally by paying rent. I mean, either you can put it the other way. You have reduced your rent by going through a Red Giraffe. Also, depending on what credit card you use to pay, you may earn more or less. Like I said, if you are using this one, you get 1.5%, and minus this one out here, so it is about 1% of rental you are getting returned. Right? If you have other cards, maybe an Infinia or a Diners card or something, then your returns are more. So
does ICICI Coral counts into premium card? ICICI Coral.
So I'll just talk onto that. I'll come on to what a premium and non-premium is.
Okay.
It's more of a subjective thing, but I'll cover on it. So these are some of the services which are really good, specifically Red Giraffe, which helps you to pay your rent on time and get some cashback. So any questions on the rental part?
So when you say it's only the rental, or it's even maintenance we can pay?
Anything that you have in your rent agreement. So they will only look at the rent agreement value. If some maintenance is part of your rental agreement, it will include it in it.
So why I asked that question is because somebody owns a house, but they still have to pay 4,000-5,000 per month as a maintenance. Can we use this option? It may not be possible, no?
Because it requires a document. It says document required. So if you have got a rental agreement which says that you have to pay maintenance or rent, whatever, then it is there.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So Red Giraffe is more stringent, as in it will require your PAN card and other things. No Broker, Housing and Cred normally will not ask you for any documentation.
Okay, like a credit card is required for this to apply?
No, so this will only let you pay your rent by using a credit card, because if you don't have a credit card, then anyways it does not make sense using your debit card or bank account, why would you pay something extra to pay a rent out of a third-party service?
Yeah.
No, the cashback comes from the credit card. That's what you're telling, right?
Yes, the cashback comes from the credit card, or if you, because normally debit cards will not have cashbacks. Some of them do have, but credit cards usually have a higher cashback. So the cashback is coming from the credit card. Red Giraffe has got nothing to do with that. But from time to time, they do have offers. Earlier when they launched, they were giving a 5% cashback in 2007. So for 5-6 months when I paid for it, I got 5% cashback, and they were not giving any charges also. So every month I was just paying 5% by routing my payments of the rent via credit card via Red Giraffe.
So you need to give the landlord's account number and all. They will put it.
Yeah, so whatever is mentioned, you have to upload your rental agreement and fill in the form, your PAN card, in case your rent is more than 10,000, the landlord's PAN card, because those are legal requirements, that it is a valid rental and things, and when the rent will start, till when is the last date for it, and then at the end of your expiry, then you just upload your new rental agreement, and it continues.
Okay.
Right. So, but as I said, Red Giraffe is the interface maybe not so well, and so you'll have to struggle a little bit, because again they verify the documents and other things. But once it goes through, it's all set. So you can set an auto debit, or you can manually go and pay it also. It's entirely up to you. Okay.
Okay. Sunila, I have one question. Red Giraffe, how do I make money?
I'm not too. So they may be making money at the end of the day, because they would know what properties are available on rent and all. So that could be their business model. Because once they have a verified database, unlike No Broker or Housing, where publics are posting ads for rental and all, they would have an upper edge to build a product at the back end for renting platforms. Right. So they would know that, okay, this for this specific area, this is the rental going on, because they have the copy of the rental agreement, right? And if the rent is expiring, so they can build up an MIS and build products around it. So that would be their business model.
Okay. Another question: the 0.39% and GST. What is that exactly?
So suppose your rent is 100 rupees, so you will be paying 100 rupees and 39 paise as the 39 paise plus 18% GST. So this is their service charge.
Okay.
Yeah, but 39% is nothing, because you see, if your credit card is giving you back, I mean, assuming you are holding the right credit card, almost 2% or 3% of cashback.
Okay. Okay. So you need to have a right credit card, so that your charges are covered by the cashback. Yes,
your cashback or whatever benefits you have using on that credit card. For, like I said, this will gives you a cashback if you are using the Flipkart card, right? So this will come back to your bank account. If you are using the Amazon Pay card, it will add your Amazon balance.
Okay.
So depending, I mean, there are so many credit cards, 50, 60 or maybe more. So depending which card you are using and what benefit you are you're getting on your card, because the benefit is provided by your credit card. It's not provided by Red Giraffe.
Okay.
Red Giraffe is not providing you any benefit. The benefit is coming from your credit card. So if you use the right card, then you can earn good money. Any question on this?
Yeah, I have one question. So other than Red Giraffe, you have any app for paying school fees?
School fees, there are certain credit cards which offer you, like American Express is running an offer currently where you get, I think, 3 times the regular points that you get. And 1 point is of about 50 paise. And so you get about, say, 3 times if you're 40. The card which I use is they offer for 200 rupees, I get 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
The point value of 1 point is 50 paise. Now, if I've got the promotion going 5 times the points, so that means earlier when I was using for 200 rupees, I am getting 6 points. So now for 200 rupees, I'll get 6 times 30. Yeah, 30 points. That is about 15% cashback.
Okay.
So there are various offers on various cards from time to time.
Yeah. Okay.
Sunil, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is just a service which is doing it, can I directly pay using my credit card and will the offer still hold the cashback or?
No, so you need to understand there are two parts of it. This is only providing you service. It has got nothing to do what cashbacks the credit card is offering. So your credit card offers are provided by your credit card companies. They are not provided by Red Giraffe. Red Giraffe says you pay the rent through us. This is what we charge you. The credit card company says, hey, if you use my credit card anywhere, I'll give you 2% cashback. So now whether you use it at Red Giraffe, where you are only paying that much service charge, or if you use it at no broker. Now, if you use it at no broker and the credit card says, I will give you 2%. So you pay 2% to the no broker guy and credit card reverse to 2%. You did not earn anything. But if you do it on Red Giraffe, you earn something. Similarly, if you are doing on a housing and your credit card cashback is only 1%, but on housing, suppose you are paying 1.3%. So you are losing 0.3%. So depending whatever credit card you are using, your benefit would be depending on that credit card.
So the credit card does it have any link with the app? Like if you use or if you pay rent using any of these apps, only then there is a cashback, or even if I directly from my credit card account directly transfer to my owner's account.
So the credit,
I get the offer
so
at that point.
from time to time, credit cards may offer you additional benefits because you are using Red Giraffe. But even if there are no offers, whatever offer you have on your credit card for spending that credit card, you will get it.
Okay, so it means
a
I
dual
need not
benefit, no?
necessarily use an app.
Yeah, so it's entirely up to you which card you want to use on it. Maybe there is an offer saying, so if you pay Red Giraffe, say if you pay using ICICI Bank, you will get 200 rupees extra. So then this month you may not want to use your HDFC and use your ICICI because you are getting 2% extra. Right? So it is entirely up to you which one you want to use and get what benefit.
Pastor Sunil, so
yeah.
Red Giraffe is storing your credit card information, right?
No.
Okay.
So the standing instructions are normally given on your on the billing section of your credit card. So if you go to your credit card section and if you're on HDFC or other sites where you register as a biller, so you are registering it out there. So you're not storing your credit card through it. And if you are not doing a standing instructions, you are paying your bill through the bill pay site, bill payment, I think.
Okay. Okay. So they don't store your credit card information.
No, they have got nothing to do. They are storing your rental agreement. Yeah, that they would know because so they may know which property you are living and those kind of things, who the landlord is and stuff. But as far as the credit card information is there, they are not storing the credit card.
Okay, and you register Red Giraffe as a dealer with your bank. So it's just like, right?
Yeah, so it is normally registered as a utility payment.
Okay.
Right, so you register it as a utility payment and then you get it done out there.
Okay, thank you.
But in credit, our credit cards are stored, right?
Yeah, credit is different thing. I'll cover credit in a little while.
But Sunil, even if the credit card is scored without the CVV, anyway, no transaction anyway will not go through, right?
No. International transactions normally don't require a CVV.
CVV, okay.
Yeah, not even a message.
No, message normally bank will send, but CVV and OTP normally are not required on international. In domestic, it is a mandate, but in international, because the mandates are different, so that is why.
Okay.
Right. So that is for the rental payment, and I am sure it definitely would benefit some of us, if not all of us. Look, you better shift on a rented house now.
No, I pay a lot of school fees, so I'm thinking somebody should develop an app to pay that. So
no, for school fees, American Express does a good job. So,
but you have a entry charge for that, right? Amex won't come as a free card, right?
Some of them will come free. Some of will have an entry.
Okay, I'll talk to you offline. Probably that is needed for me.
Right. Okay. So now that is for the housing. Now coming to HDFC Smart Buy. So this is a portal. This is dedicated to people who have got an HDFC card, a debit card or a credit card. Okay. Now using this portal, you earn certain points which you can then utilize for further things. For example, if you hold the super premium card Infinia or Diners Black. So when you are generating any vouchers using the Smart Buy portal, I'll just show it to you how you generate it. They give you 33% kind of a cashback. That means if you are spending 100 rupees, they're giving you 33% back every time. So I'll just show it to you the Smart Buy. So this is the Smart Buy portal.
Can you share it?
Yeah, I'm just sharing. Give me a minute. Okay. So giftar.com/smartbuy. So here you have many offers where suppose if I buy any vouchers, instant vouchers, let me see where they are. Right. So suppose I buy a Shopper Stop. So sometimes Shopper Stops runs offers if you're, so instead of paying through a credit card out there, what I do is I go to this website, I generate a voucher from here, and then I use that voucher to make the payment, right? Now, what I'm doing is, one, I am using a voucher instead of a credit card to make a payment online or at the store, right? So for example, let's see Chroma is they've got any offers. No, currently. So suppose to W's you are making an offer, buying something. Let me see if they're running any offers. So suppose you're buying something from Silo or Celio, however you pronounce it. The cost of the product is 250. So now if you want that voucher, you will normally for 250 rupees voucher will come for 187 rupees, which means you are flat saving 25% out here. And to top this, when you are buying the voucher, you are also getting points for it, right? So one, you are directly saving on the vendors. This also the partners keep changing. So this month there will be some partner, next month there will be some other partner. So now if you are buying some product from Cello, and instead of making a payment through cash or a debit card or credit card, what you do is you go here and generate that voucher, right? So whenever you are generating voucher, don't generate it more than the bill. Either it should be exact or less than that, because the unused amount is not returned back. So normally whenever I go out shopping, when I'm at the store itself, I generate the voucher there and then. I don't need to generate it beforehand. It comes within a minute or so. I just add this to the cart, and then I get this offer. So this is the vendor offer. That means because I use the bought a voucher, I get this offer. I save this much. To top it off this, again, depending if I'm using the right card, I will get points on the card or maybe cash back for, right? So like in this the HDFC, based on whichever HDFC card if I'm using. So if I'm using suppose Infinia, which gives me 33% off. So that means 33% that plus 25% this. So it gives me almost a 50% off on whatever I am buying. Just because I use the right method to pay. I did not do anything specific. I did not go and swipe my card. Instead, I routed my money through a voucher. So I bought a voucher, made the payment using the voucher, and made the payment. So best case scenario, you will get 33% back. Worst case scenario, you will get 5% cash back. So depending on which card you are using, so 25 plus 5% is 30%. So again, the partners keep changing. Like, so for example, Silo is there. Sometimes way back, Amazon was also there. Now Amazon vouchers, it only gives you vouchers, and there's no voucher value discount, but it gives you these certain points. Right? Silo is there, EBA, Siemens, UCB. So like suppose you buy clothes, if you're buying from UCB. So these vouchers normally are only applicable at the vendor store. So this may not be applicable on a multi-brand showroom. Only a UCB authorized shops or store. Before generating the voucher, you can always ask them whether they accept vouchers or not. And if they say yes, then you can go ahead and generate the vouchers there and then. So there are many, most of the malls are closed right now, but as and when they open up, or even if you're going out, so we have some good brands out here, Levi's. Whenever you're buying a jeans, whatever the store price is there. Apart from that, you get this 5% off, plus whatever points card you have used, whatever HDFC card you have used, and based on that, you get the additional offers. So using a mix and match of your vouchers and the credit card combination, you can easily save somewhere between say 10% to 50%. 10% assuming 5% off you get there, and you get 5% cashback, assuming you have a basic entry level card, maybe a debit card or a credit card on HDFC. This is specific to HDFC, right? So this is where you can go and do a lot of other shoppings, clothes, other things, and generate the vouchers. But just a word of caution, just ask the store before generating the voucher whether they accept the vouchers or not, right? So this is a good site, giftar.com, HDFC Smart Buy, where you can generate vouchers and do a lot of shopping and other things. They have a lot of other vouchers. Last month, I think Big Basket was also there. Not too sure if it is still there. They keep changing partners every month or every 2 months or 3 months.
I have a question, Pastor.
Yeah.
Like the way you said about offline, if we are shopping online, even then, if I'm having a, for example, Levi's voucher, I can only apply it on the official Levi's website and not on a Myntra website, which is offering me Levi's merchandise, right?
Right, but on an online, normally I would not recommend doing that, because in case the website does not accept it, you cannot, get the refund on it. You still hold that voucher and you'll have to first to take a bite. So on online, I normally do not recommend. These vouchers I normally recommend is offline, where you are at the store. Also, when I'm at the store, even if they say yes, I first will only generate the least value voucher, just in case their system goes down or whatever happens. I don't jump to the highest voucher. Okay, no, because they're accepting, let me generate the full voucher. So I always generate the first voucher at the least value. So the least value usually would be 250. And once they say, okay, they are able to accept that, then I can generate the remaining balance, right?
But there's a problem if we are getting a voucher of Myntra, Flipkart, or Amazon itself, right? Then we can make a.
Yeah, so Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon, obviously those are online stores only, so those are specifically designated online. But anything apart from that, which you are Myntra, Flipkart, and all, these are not brands. I mean, these are stores, but these are not product brands, right? You never buy a Myntra TV or Myntra shirt. There are other vendors who are selling on Myntra. So that's the concept is different, right? So, but if there is a Myntra voucher, because like here also when you buy certain vouchers, you get Myntra vouchers, or you will get a Flipkart. So for example, here you have a Myntra voucher. So this they can buy it on the website. So currently they are not running any offer out here, but they say that you will get a 500 rupee promo code. So if you use this, so then we'll also have to always remember to read the fine thing, like this is 500 rupee promo code. So they may want you to make a purchase of a specific amount before getting that promo code. So these are there, right? But at the end of the day, from what may, you are still earning your credit card points, right? Even if you are not getting any discount out here, like in case of this one, I'll show you
the reward points, right?
Yeah, like this chart, which I will show you. Here it says, you are if you are using one of these premium, super premium cards, this is what you get. If you are using a normal card, right? So if you use it on Amazon, you are getting 5%. So even if you are buying that voucher, you are still getting about 5% off. Or if you are buying an Amazon voucher, if you are the instant voucher, flights, hotels, and things. So you are saving some kind of a money depending on which kind of a card you have. So this is specific to HDFC. Okay.
And restricted to credit, right? Only credit cards.
No. So other cards on this, your debit cards also will work. Debit cards, credit cards, both will work.
But HDFC.
Yeah, this is HDFC specific portal, which is a good portal. I've been buying a lot of stuff using this portal, and when I buy Amazon voucher, which I buy, so I straight off get 33%. This is which I get, and then I can use that voucher out there. Okay? So this is a good portal where you can save quite a good amount of money, even if you don't have a super premium card, and even if you have a normal card. Even a debit card will work on this case.
Sunil, one thing I have seen with HDFC cards are actually any site or anything you go, any stores also, a lot of places there's that 5% cashback.
Yeah.
Which I have not seen with many. Actually, it's one of, when we bought a fridge, some 65K,
yeah,
we got a 5% off. It's still a substantial money, 5% off.
Right. That's why I said credit.
I have not seen that with most of the other cards, but HDFC, I think it's predominantly, I think there's a lot, it is there everywhere. Actually.
Yeah, HDFC offers you a lot of the features.
If for every card swipe also, they give some points.
Yeah, HDFC is very aggressive as far as the credit cards are concerned. And they hold one of the best credit cards. Specifically, this Infinia credit card is a very good credit
card. How much is the annual maintenance fee of that Infinia?
Infinia, I think it's 10,000 rupees plus GST. But they also have if you spend over a certain amount of threshold, they normally will not charge you an annual fees.
Yeah, that's the only drawback. The maintenance charge will be on the higher side.
No, but if you're talking of Infinia, but if you're using other cards also, you still get that 5%, right? Yeah. So if you look at that 10,000, if you are doing a 1 lakh rupee worth shopping and you get 33% as a reward point, so you spend 10,000, but you've got 20,000 additional out there. So it depends on a use case.
That money.
33% are in terms of points, right? Again, they will have a reduction in terms of rupees, right? For example, 4 points, 1 rupee, like that they will consider, right?
No, it depends from use case to use case. Sometimes you will get 1 rupee value. Sometimes you can even get more than 1 rupee value.
Yeah.
Right. So it all depends from a use case where you are using it. It's just like a mix and match the kind of a right kind of a credit card or the voucher you have and at the right kind of a site. Like I'm sure many of you did not know you could pay a rent using a credit card. So just about a combination, which combination you are using to get the maximum benefit out of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Now this is. Have you heard of Payback? Any of you have heard of Payback? You normally will see it at the central store.
Yeah, I've been using Payback, but now for each transaction they're charging again some money.
Yeah, so now I'll tell you how to use Payback for free. So Payback is a reward program. What it basically does is it helps banks and other people to analyze spending patterns, and that is how they earn the money. Now, if you go to payback.in and you sign up for a card, it is free, you don't pay anything. They also do something called as an affiliate marketing. Okay, so what is an affiliate marketing is that every time you buy something from a reference of a Payback gets certain commission on it, and then they give you some points for it, which you can utilize. Right. So let me share my screen once more. So now suppose you don't have a credit card and still you want to, get some benefit out of this. So you can head to Payback. Where is Payback? Right, can you see the screen, Payback?
Yes.
So now what Payback says is, instead of buying directly at Amazon.com or Amazon, what you do is you come to Payback, and from here you click this link, and then you go to the Amazon site. Right. So suppose I said I want to buy at Amazon. So it says shop now. So it will click here, and you have to enter your whatever registration you have done. When you click this, now it will take you to the Amazon site. So basically what it is telling Amazon that, hey, I have referenced this customer to your website. So when I click here and enter the credentials, I will be redirected to the Amazon site now. So my entry point to the Amazon site is not Amazon.in, but I'm entering this site from Payback.in. Okay. So any purchases now that you make on Amazon, they will get some kind of a referral money, and they will give you points. So 1 point is, I think, equal to about 20 paise or 25 paise. I'm not too sure what the current value is. So you are getting 1% cash back on payback. Now payback has got a big catalog where you can redeem your points for a lot of other things. So again, what I do is, instead of going to Amazon.in directly, I went to Amazon.com or .in using from here. So payback will, whatever amount I use out there, payback will give me certain points out there, up, say 1% value. And apart from that, when I spend that, when I'm using a credit card on the Amazon site, that credit card also will give me some points. You see, so the credit card is also giving me points. Amazon is also giving me points. Now, take the example of, I have told you that the first credit card which I talked about, Amazon Pay credit card, which offers you 5% pay balance. So 5% that plus additional 1% you will get here because you went to the website from this link. Right? So just being redirected to a website from the correct link will also earn you additional money. Right? So here we have various other brands. This also, they keep changing partners. Amazon has been a partner for quite a few years. So see, Flipkart is there, Jockey, a lot of other partners are there. So you are just using the right platform to enter. Even for, it says fresh to home, if you're ordering non-veg and all, you can get it out here. So 50 points would be about, I think, 10 rupees worth value. So on every order, you are saving 10 rupees just by redirecting yourself to the website from a correct link. Right? So this also will help you to earn a lot of money. And this you can, you don't have to have a credit card or debit card, because they would give you payback points, which you can then redeem for in-store and online partners or instant vouchers. It has a lot of offers ongoing.
These points, Pastor, they're credited in our
payback account.
Okay.
And then you are able to see this payback screen. TGIF, I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, we can.
Share it. So then you get the points out here. So using those points, then you can redeem these points on other websites. The websites where you get voucher codes and all, and then redeem points, instant vouchers. And so you can redeem them on these other sites as well. Right? So the whole thing is using the right credit card to make the right purchase to earn the right points, and then use those for the points to for shopping or other things.
So in a way, you are saying, for example, that I made a payment on Myntra, the payback that I got from there, I can use it to purchase in Amazon as well.
Yes, because you will get payback points, and using those payback points, then you can make a purchase on the payback site, or you can generate a voucher and again utilize that voucher on the on other sites.
The voucher that we get, does that have an expiry date or something like that?
The vouchers normally will have an expiry date from 6 months to 1 year. Again, that will also depend. The vouchers are issued in collaboration with the vendor. So Flipkart may say, okay, if any voucher that has been issued to use on Flipkart should be used within a year.
Okay. And what about the vouchers?
For how many seconds?
Come again?
The previous slide, the vouchers that we were generating from HDFC debit.
So there you are buying the vouchers, okay? There you are buying the vouchers using a credit card and then earning the points. Here we are not buying the vouchers. Here we are earning certain points to go to Amazon. So suppose I bought an Amazon voucher on Smart Buy. Now instead of going to Amazon.in to buy directly, I go to payback.in and then I go to Amazon. So that voucher I'll still use at Amazon, but because I went to Amazon from payback, I'll also get some payback points.
Mm-hmm.
See.
So in payback, we can have a limit, like we can have a limit of 6 months or a year, like you said. But when we are generating a voucher, like the previous step, will that also have a duration or an expiry date?
See, a voucher is a voucher, right? Whether you take it from Payback or whether you take it from HDFC. What I am saying is you generated a voucher from HDFC, which was offering you certain discount. Now you have to use that voucher on that vendor's website. Suppose you generated an Amazon voucher. Now to use that voucher, you have to go to the Amazon site, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you have already got some discount of points because you bought that voucher. Now, if you want something additional, I don't go to Amazon. What I go to Payback and then ask Payback to take me to Amazon. So now when I'm going to Amazon, Amazon thinks that this purchase is being referred by Payback. So they will give some commission to Payback. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And from that commission, Payback will pay you some points, which you will utilize. Is it clear or should I repeat?
Yes, that's clear. But my question was not bringing in Payback into the picture. If we are just generating the voucher, that voucher, will it have an expiry?
Yeah, vouchers, all vouchers will have their own terms and conditions. Some would expire in 6 months, some would expire in a year, depending on the voucher issuing agreement that the suppose Amazon voucher. Amazon would have a contract with the vendor that any vouchers that I issue through your platform would have a validity of say 1 year.
Okay.
From the date of issue.
Mm-hmm.
So those are agreements that when you get the voucher, it will tell you what is the validity of the voucher. You're bringing Payback into the picture is that when you route your final product purchase, you also can earn Payback points apart from what you earned on the vouchers.
Got it.
Right? Because if you buy a voucher and directly go to Amazon.in, you will still pay it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to Amazon.in via Payback, then you also get Payback points, which again, when you collect, you can buy a lot of other things.
Okay.
Any questions?
Even our ICICI card reward points are getting added to Payback.
Yeah, so why I did not bring the branded cards out there, because then those are specific cards that you will have to have and you only get Payback points on that.
Yeah.
In this scenario, what I'm talking is you can use any card to make any payment on any site. You still get Payback points. Then you're not tied down with ICICI. ICICI is the only vendor. I think IndusInd also gives you a Payback card, but when you are going through Payback, then you are not linked to any specific credit card. You can use any credit card or a debit card also to earn Payback points.
Yeah, but this is a good information. Thanks.
So someone had asked, yeah.
Yeah, I just had a question, Pastor. So basically, somehow right from the beginning, like all, I mean, on my debit card, I have ICICI debit card. So all the points are somehow going to Payback right from the start. So is it how it works? Like as in whatever debit card we use, like all the all the transactions are being tracked by Payback, and we get a reward for it. Like I mean, based on our usage.
Yeah, so ICICI Bank has always had a tie-up with Payback. So whatever transactions you do on your debit card, they are always converted to Payback points.
Okay, but this isn't the case for all the debit cards. Right?
No, for different debit cards would have different. Like SBI will have their own reward point. IndusInd will have their own set of things.
Okay, thanks.
Now there are a few other different kind of credit cards which normally have a less use case, but nevertheless, if you are, it may be useful for some of you. So whenever we are doing any international transactions, there is always a concept called foreign currency conversion charges, which normally is 3.5% plus GST. So that means if the amount, the $1 is equal to 100 rupees, and if you're making a dollar payment, you will end up paying about 104 rupees, right? Because most of the credit cards charge a currency conversion charges. So this can be huge if you are if you buy something maybe online, you're buying from a foreign website and you're paying in dollars. So there are a few debit cards like IndusInd has a Visa signature debit card, which does not have a currency conversion charge. So if the price of the dollar is 100 rupees, you only will be paying 100 rupees. Certain credit cards will also have less foreign currency conversion fees. I think Citibank has one, which charges you about 2%. So if you're in that range where you are also doing certain foreign transactions, it is good to look for credit cards or debit cards which have a less foreign currency conversion fees or nil. Because normally when we go and look at what the rate of the dollar is, if I go to xe.com, this will tell me that the value of $1 is 75 or 80. But when you actually buy for $1, you pay much more than that. For example, €1. $86, $85. But if I were to buy something worth €1 online, I will normally end up paying somewhere around 90 rupees. That 5 rupees extra I will have to pay because of currency conversion charges. So there are a lot of cards which provide you a lower currency conversion or nil currency conversion charges. So when if you're on those who are doing some online spends in dollars, maybe you can connect offline and I can talk about the credit cards and the debit cards which have a nil conversion charges. So if this is showing your 85, then you will normally get the same rate. Also, MasterCards normally will have a better currency conversion, better price than Visa. Visa prices are normally a little bit higher. So Visa and MasterCards are two cards issuer which are accepted worldwide. Apart from that, we have Diners Club, American Express, and RuPay. So if you're doing some foreign currency conversion, then maybe MasterCard, having a MasterCard will slightly give you a better rate on it. Any questions?
On the payback side, I have one question.
Yeah, you keep going. Yeah.
We can direct to Amazon, right?
Right.
So is this option possible in mobile also, because it opens in the app actually?
Yeah, that's possible, but you have to ensure that you have nothing added to your cart and you do a search once your cart is empty. So if you have already saved something and you just go to payback and just make a payment, that normally will not function, because the system will detect that this product was not referred by payback because it was already on the cart. So it is a good thing that whenever you do such thing, ensure that there is nothing in your cart, no saved as later items or nothing that you need to proceed to check out. Your search should be empty. You go from payback to the there, and then you start searching and adding and do it.
So it works in mobile also, right?
Yeah, it works on mobile also because it is a reference to the API, so the mobile is able to track it.
Okay, thanks.
So that was on credit cards. Anyone has any questions on credit cards or anything they like to discuss before I jump on to one last topic, I think. So what we discussed today is how to use credit cards and how to get some benefits out of using the credit cards. Now, the last thing I wanted to discuss is how to get benefit for making a credit card payment, because we all use credit cards. And so at the end of the day, we need to make a payment for the credit card, right? So there is an app called Cred. I'm sure some of you would have heard about it, if not all of you. So Cred is a payment platform which helps you to make the payments for your credit card. Okay. So I've not put it in this slide. It's mentioned one of the partners for the rental. So what this does is it helps you to make the payments for your credit card. And then when you are making the payments for your credit cards from your bank accounts or debit card, it gives you points for making the payments. Okay. So first we were earning points for using credit cards and we were using those points to make purchases. Now to make payments for the credit cards, we can use an app called Cred. And when we make payments using Cred, you get points. Again, Cred has offers from time to time where you can buy things at discounted rates or totally free. I have got a few of a lot of stuff from Cred. One is the wireless headphone, earphone, which I'm using. I got a Google Mini home speaker. A few other things which I have got. Also, at one point of time, I got 10,000 rupees as a scratch voucher using the Cred platform. So that was when they had initially launched. Nowadays, what I usually get is about 40 or 50 rupees worth of scratch voucher. But that is still worth it, because when you are making the payments on Cred, when you're making the payments from a non-Cred platform, you're not getting anything. So now if I'm making something on a Cred platform, even if I make 1,000 rupee payment using Cred, and I get a scratch voucher, and when I use this scratch card, maybe I get a 7 rupee or 8 rupees, I still am getting some kind of a benefit which earlier was not there. So now I'm also getting rewarded to make my credit card payments using the Cred platform. Earlier, because when I'm making payments, I am not getting any benefit, right? I'm not getting any points which I can use. But using the Cred platform, I'm able to get some additional benefits in terms of Cred points, which I can use on Cred to buy discounted merchandise. Sometimes the merchandise are totally free. I mean, you just use the Cred points that you get, and you can get those merchandise delivered. So that is about Cred. If anyone of you wants the link to the Cred, and because I get referral points also if I refer, and so if you want, I can share it in the group, and maybe you can sign up for Cred if you're not already using Cred.
Yeah.
Sunil bhai, it's a. Do you think nowadays they are giving good offers? Initially, yes, but now I'm not seeing much offers in that.
See, initially, as I said, I even got at one point of time, I got 10,000 rupees also. So that was a good offer. But now what I'm seeing is you still get this scratch card. So you still get some kind of amount, maybe 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 20 rupees, whatever. You are still getting something in comparison to getting nothing.
Okay.
And you don't have to pay anything for the Cred.
No, you don't pay anything. And because of COVID, I think the offers have reduced right now. But once the COVID thing situations back, I think they'll be coming back with more offers.
But you will accumulate some kind of points, right?
Yeah. So for every rupee that you pay, you get 1 point. So if your bill is 1,000 rupees, you will get 1,000 points. So
but you need to store your credit card there, right?
Yeah, that's only for a credit card payment.
Yeah, that's fine. But then you will get the point from your credit card also, as well as here also.
Yeah, so you are getting points for making credit card payments.
Yeah.
Right, so because no one gives you points for making a payment, right? The credit card is they are giving you points, but now to make payments for the credit card that you are getting used, you again get certain points. So even if you get nothing, maybe you get some low value scratch vouchers, 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 50 rupees. Still, you are getting something which you were not getting earlier.
Basically, you don't have to put any effort. You just have to pay your bill. That's it.
Yeah. Also, I like it because it pops up the reminder. It sends me a WhatsApp reminder of the payment due date is there or something. So it says 3 more days to go for your payment due date. Make your payment on time. So it helps me to organize also from that perspective. But it does store your credit card information and other things that is there on the platform. So I think that's it that I have. I mean, unless if you have any other questions.
I think it was the insights are really good. So you are the first person I'm seeing. You are a credit card evangelist. Or you can use a credit card. You taught us how to use it. I think it's something. I personally have never learned all those things. But I think you have just used all the loopholes, created a funnel of things where you can make money and you can get buy things. Good, it's very good. Actually.
No, and these are just basic cards. I mean, if you use the super premium cards, I mean, I used to travel a lot before COVID, so I have never paid more than 400 or 500 rupees for a flight.
Yeah.
Delhi, Bangalore, or anywhere, any flight within the country, I have not paid more than that. For hotels also, you get good offers and other things. And maybe I can cover it at a later stage or sometime once the COVID situation is back, because that is the time when we would be traveling. Because we have some, we even have an IRCTC credit card, which gives you a 10% cashback on booking tickets.
IRCTC, okay.
IRCTC, we have Ola card, which gives you, I think, 5%, 5 to 15%.
You may have at least 40-50 cards.
Huh?
You have so many cards then.
I think I have about 11 or 12 credit cards. Yeah. So, but credit cards are good. I mean, it helps you to build the credit score at the end of the day. And if you use them wisely, as today we have discussed, you definitely can get a lot of value out of it.
Yeah,
We will
one
link
more.
you as our guru.
Yeah, Ramesh.
Yeah, one more point I want to add is, see, usually when I started with credit card, the problem with is the expense. So initially I will use up my credit card limit and I'll use up my debit card. So at the end of the month, you will have double expense. So nowadays what I'm doing is I will swipe in credit card all my purchases, then immediately I will transfer from my debit to credit card through credit. So in that, like a debit card only, but you need to have an extra effort of paying that credit card immediately, not towards the end of the month.
Yeah, because it's as long as you are making your payments on time, I think it's a very good tool. If you're not, then it's a very bad tool. So it's just about the habits of making your card payments on time, and you can get a lot of financial benefits on it.
Yes, Sunil, Melvin here.
Yeah, Melvin.
Just wanting to know, you have just shared as a lot of benefits on 5%, 1%, and all of things.
Yeah.
I think if you could also take a session on the drawbacks of the credit cards, so that will equally balance a particular lifestyle and a paying habit. Because definitely, if you do not pay it within 30 days, 45 days, whatever the grace period, or even if you opt for at an emergency remove cash out of credit card, the 26% of interest. So I think even that insight would give us more whether we should really go in for the 5% or we should take care of the 26% that we would spend later on if we don't pay our minimum payments.
Yeah, very rightly said. That's why I said at the beginning of the session, I don't mind taking a detailed session on that. But as long as you are able to pay it on time, it's the best tool. If you're not able to pay on time, please stay away from it.
I think, Melvin, it's a pretty much a discipline thing.
Yeah.
Even when we take it, it's not that we don't know about 2.5% of interest rate per month. But then first 6 months we pay, then 7 months we default, then it becomes an habit.
Right.
So that's why I think credit is a good application, because it reminds you totally when your due date is another thing. So you know what in front of you, what is the due date and what you have to pay. Because banks normally will send you this statement and will not bother to call you after the due date. Credit will proactively remind you that your due date is approaching. Please pay, please pay. Anything else, guys?
Nothing.